Hey guys, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. So today we are going to discuss Class 10 Science Chapter number 14 Sources of Energy Part 3. Part 1 and Part 2 of this chapter already I have uploaded in my channel. You can check that in the playlist of Class 10 Science. Today we are going to discuss the rest of the topics from this lesson, Sources of Energy, and this will be covered in the Part 3 of this video. So let's start with the lesson. So first of all, in the last class, we have covered these topics like thermal power plants, hydropower plants, conventional and conventional sources of energy. Then I have told you about the three types of energy which we get from the sea: tidal energy, wave energy, ocean thermal energy. So today we are going to start it with geothermal energy. Today we are going to start. So the topic geothermal energy we will start today. So in this, the first point, what is the meaning of geo? As you all know, the meaning of geo is earth and thermal means heat. So the energy which we get from the heat of the earth is called geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is the heat energy from hot rocks present inside the earth. You know that inside the earth, rocks are there, lavas are there, crust, mantle, core. These are the three parts of the earth. Inside that, very hot temperature is there. So the energy which we get from the hot rocks of the earth is called geothermal energy. When underground water comes in contact with hot spots, it changes into steam, which can be used to generate electricity. See, as you know, that water is present inside the earth also. That water is called underground water. When the underground water will come in contact with the hot spots means from where we get the heat. The water will be heated and that will be changed into steam. That steam is used to generate electricity. From that steam we can get electricity. Now, what are the advantages of geothermal energy? The first advantage of geothermal energy is economical, means it is less amount of money we have to spend for getting this energy. Renewable source of energy means it will never finish off in the future. Does not cause any pollution. Yes, it will not create any pollution. It is eco-friendly. Now there are some disadvantages also. So what is the first disadvantage? Geothermal energy is not available everywhere, means it is not possible that from every part of the earth we can get geothermal energy. It is present in some of the parts only. Okay, the geoscientists, they will identify that from which part of the energy we can get geothermal energy, and they will make it hotspot, and from there we can get that geothermal energy. Expensive source of energy means for getting geothermal energy we have to spend a lot of money, right? So these are the advantages and disadvantages of geothermal energy. Now the next topic which we will cover from this lesson is nuclear energy, right? So what is nuclear energy? A reaction in which nucleus of an atom undergoes a change to form a new atom and releases an enormous amount of energy is called nuclear energy. See, in nuclear energy what happens? You know that in every atom nucleus is present at the center, and inside the nucleus protons and neutrons are present. When some reaction will occur, from this atom we can get a new atom, we can get new atoms, and along with the formation of atom we can get some amount of energy. That energy is called nuclear energy, the energy which we get from the reaction by which nucleus undergoes some changes and new atoms are formed, and that energy, along with that some amount of energy is released. That energy is called nuclear energy. It is used for heat generation. And where we can use this nuclear energy? For heat generation. As a fuel also we can use it, and for marine vessels also we can use this nuclear energy. Now, if we discuss the advantages and disadvantages, so first of all, let's come to the advantages of nuclear energy. The first advantage of nuclear energy is alternate source of energy due to depletion of fossil fuels. Yes, we have read that fossil fuels are getting depleted. As the population is increasing, the demand of people is increasing, the energy crisis, we are facing the problem of energy crisis. Because of that, you know that fossil fuels are getting depleted. So we have to think about the alternate source of energy. So nuclear energy is one of the alternative source of energy. From a small amount of fuel, large amount of energy is released. If we use a less amount of nuclear energy, means a small amount of fuel, we can get large amount of energy from that. Now, let's discuss the disadvantages of nuclear energy. The first disadvantage of nuclear energy is risk of nuclear waste leakage. Means whenever nuclear energy process will occur, there is some chances that leakage of nuclear waste can be possible, which is harmful. Okay. Next, high cost of setting up of nuclear plant. For setting a nuclear plant or installation of nuclear plant, high cost means high amount of money we have to spend in that. Pollution of the environment. It creates pollution also in the environment. Now, there are some major nuclear plants which are there in India. So let's have a look on that. So the Tarapur in Maharashtra. Over there we have one nuclear plant. Rana Pratap Sagar in Rajasthan. We have one nuclear plant. Kalapakkam in Tamil Nadu. Narora in UP and Kakrapar in Gujarat and Kaga in Karnataka. In these states and in these places we have the nuclear power plants. Now let's come to the most important topic, nuclear fission and fusion. Many times in the exams, the differences between nuclear fission and fusion is asked. So there are two types of there are two ways by which we can get nuclear energy. And what are the names of those processes? Nuclear fusion and nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. So let's have a look of among the differences between nuclear fission and fusion. So in nuclear fission, what happens? Fission, it involves breaking of a heavy nucleus into lighter nuclei. Suppose one heavy nucleus I have, it will break down into smaller nuclei. That is called fission. Means breaking of heavy nucleus into smaller nuclei is called fission process. And what happens in fusion? Fusion means two smaller nuclei will join together to give you a big nucleus. It involves the binding of two nuclei. Means two small nuclei will bind together, will join together to give you a big nuclei. Second point, it carries out the bombardment of neutrons over a heavy nucleus. Bombardment means the neutrons will strike the heavy nucleus, and in this it carried out the heating and at an extreme temperature. Heating out by extreme temperature means for binding the two nuclei we have to provide a large amount of heat. It is a chain reaction. It is not a chain reaction. It is a controlled process. Means we can control this fission process, but this fusion process is uncontrollable. It is not in our hand that we can control this fusion process. It produces an enormous amount of energy. It produces more energy than nuclear fission. Means in this we can produce a large amount of energy, but the energy which we get in fusion process is comparatively greater than that we get in fission process. Fission products are hazardous. Hazardous means they are dangerous. It does not cause pollution, but if we carry out the fusion process, it will not cause any pollution. So these are the differences between fission and fusion. Go through these differences. It will be helpful for you during your exams. Now, the next topic from this lesson is environmental consequences. Environmental consequences means what are the problems which our environment is facing. What are the problems which our environment is facing that we will read now. The first problem which is faced by our environment is the combustion for fossil fuels produce acid rain and damages plant, soil and aquatic life. Means when we burn the fossil fuels like coal, petroleum and etc. what happened? Lot of smoke, lot of polluted gases, lot of harmful gases are there in our will spread in the environment, in the sky and in the atmosphere. It will mix up with the rain and that causes acid rain. That acid rain can cause damage to the crops, plants and even the marble statues. The Taj Mahal is getting affected because of this acid rain. Next, burning of fossil fuels is increasing the amount of greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. If we burn the fossil fuels at a great rate, what will happen? Obviously, the greenhouse gas means the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, its level will increase. So, greenhouse effect will be caused because of burning of fossil fuels. Construction of hydropower plant is a disturbing ecological balance. Hydropower plants by which we get electricity, it is also creating imbalance or it disturbs the ecological balance in the nature. Nuclear power plants are increasing radioactivity in the environment, which is dangerous also, hazardous also, and it creates pollution also in the environment. Exploiting any source of energy disturbs the environment in some way or the other. Means if we make changes in any of the sources of energy, if we are getting electricity from the sources of energy, but in one way or the other, they are disturbing our environment. It is affecting our environment. Right? So these are the environmental consequences. Now the last topic from this lesson is renewable source of energy and non-renewable source of energy. So let's have a quick look on what are renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. So first we will discuss renewable sources of energy. So what are renewable sources of energy? Renewable sources of energy are those sources which are inexhaustible. Inexhaustible means it will never finish off in the future. That is, which can be replaced as we use them and can be used to produce energy again and again. Renewable sources of energies are those sources of energy which will never finish off in the future. We can use it again and again. These are available in an unlimited amount in nature and develop within a relatively short period of time. Means they are available in a unlimited amount. Means we can get it in a large amount in nature. Like for example, solar energy. Solar energy always we will get after 10 years, 20 years also we can get that solar energy, and we can and develop within a relatively short period of time. For example, if we take the example of natural gas. Natural gas is an example of fossil fuels, so it will take long period of time to make that natural gas. But solar energy definitely will get it after 10 years also and after 20 years also. So that is an example of renewable source of energy. Example of renewable sources of energy: solar energy, wind energy, geothermal energy. These all are the examples of renewable source of energy. So this is one of the most important question for your exam. What are renewable sources of energy? Give some example. So what answer you will write? Renewable sources of energy are those which are inexhaustible. That is, which can be produced again and again. Example, you can write solar energy, wind energy. Next, we have non-renewable sources of energy. So, what are non-renewable sources of energy? Non-renewable sources of energies are those sources of energies which are exhaustible. Exhaustible means they cannot be available in the future and cannot be replaced once they have used. Means once it is finished, it cannot not be replaced again, or it will take a long time for its formation. For example, fossil fuels, right? These sources have been accumulated in nature over a long period of millions of years. Means it takes millions of years to form that sources of formation of non-renewable sources of energy. Examples: fossil fuels, coal, petroleum. These are the examples of non-renewable sources of energy. So what we have read: renewable sources of energies are those sources of energies which are inexhaustible, means which we can use it in the future again and again. Example: solar energy. Non-renewable sources of energies are those sources of energy which are exhaustible, means once it is used up, we cannot get it back. Example: fossil fuels. So with this, we have finished the lesson sources of energy. All the notes which I have provided in this tutorial are from the NCERT textbook. You can go through the notes. You can copy it in your textbook wherever it is necessary, or you can make short notes from here also. So go through it, read your NCERT textbook once, and if you have any doubts, you can comment in the comment section. I will definitely try to clear your doubt. I have uploaded 3 parts from this lesson: part 1, part 2 and part 3. Go through all the parts one by one, read your textbook, try to understand the lesson. In this, you don't have to understand anything. Everything is that what you have learned. If you have the concept, you can make your own answer and you can write. The teacher will definitely give you the marks if you write the correct thing over there. Thank you for watching Science Learning Gateway. If you like this tutorial, please click on the like button, share it with your friends, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to it. And many of you are watching the video but not subscribing. So I have a humble request from you all that if you like the tutorial, if you like my channel, then please subscribe to it. Thank you for watching. You can also join me through the Facebook page. The link I will provide in the description box. Thank you.